7:49. I think I said 6:49 a while ago, but you know we're still on the old daylight savings time. I hope, if you haven't remembered, I heard someone this morning said they just rolled their clock back this morning, and they'd forgotten all about it. But it's actually well, it just clicked over, 7:50 this morning. And I'm glad you joined us on Tennessee Valley this morning. As promised, we have some very special guests here. To my left is Dr. Liz Culler, the medical director for Blood Assurance. To my far left is Lacey Wilson. Lacey's been in before telling us about the fine work that they do at Blood Assurance, and we're glad to have you back today.
Thank you for having us.
I believe this is your first time with us, Dr.
It
Culler.
is.
But we're glad that you're here. Now, as medical director, what does your position involve? A lot of people may not think of Blood Assurance as needing a medical director, but tell us about your role at Blood Assurance.
Well, it's pretty broad. I might be working with a donor.
Okay.
For example, someone may have a reaction,
okay,
and I would get involved in that.
Sure.
Also, what tests do we run on the blood, and what machines do we use to do those tests?
Okay.
And then once the blood goes to the hospital, what if there's a reaction on that end?
Oh,
I end up speaking with quite a number of physicians about those kinds of things.
So you work with the doctors as well. Okay.
Yes.
Well, you guys are here to tell us about a very special promotion, or not a promotion, but a special need and a promotion as well. So let's talk about that. You have a need right now. Talk about that, Lacey.
Well, we actually are critically low on O negative right now. That's the universal blood type, and anybody can receive that type of donation. And so we're trying to get the word out about that, but we're also giving any O negative donor that comes in during the month of November and December the chance to win a trip to Universal Studios, since they are the universal donor.
Universal donor to Universal. I like it. I like that a lot. But I believe you were telling us during the break, Dr. Culler, that there's only like 6% of the population that
yes,
have
if you
this
are
blood
O
type?
negative, you're very special. Only 6% of the population is O negative, but of course that's used for 100% of us. If we're in an accident, they won't stop to do our blood type. They're just going to use the O negative until they can determine the person's blood type. So basically, that 6% of the population supports all of us.
Oh, really? So 6% of the people have O negative, but it can be used for everybody.
Exactly.
Do you keep records on the donors that you have come in, on who is O negative, this type of thing, and make a special appeal to those people?
We definitely do, especially this time, our time of need right now.
Well, you have more than one location. I know your main office is in Chattanooga, but you have more than one location. Talk about
We do. We have one on Keith Street, just across from the Tractor Supply, right there in front of Becky's Discount Shoes. We have 12 locations overall, and we have 10 blood mobiles, and we are having blood drives every single day, and you can find those at bloodassurance.org/blood drives.
Okay. And the need for, do you call it plasma or blood?
These are red blood cells.
Okay. The need for this, does it fluctuate with the time of year, or just when there is an accident or a disaster? How do you judge what the need's going to be?
I mean, there is a need, and it does fluctuate by day, quite a bit actually, but there are times of the year that is more difficult to find O negative donors, and that would be, fortunately, 16% of our donors come from high school students. So summers are usually very tight for us around the holidays like Thanksgiving, Christmas, that time of year. But for whatever reason, we are low right at this point.
And the shelf life for the blood is another reason why you have to continually remind the public.
That's right.
Hey, we need you to donate.
Well, for red blood cells, the shelf life is 42 days, but we never make it to that point with O negative. You know,
it's used up.
Exactly. We're here because we had less than 1 day blood supply for our hospitals of O negative.
So you have, is it more than one promotion that you were talking about?
We do. We actually are giving any donor, regardless of blood type, the chance to win $1,000 for their favorite charity during the month of November. So they can visit any blood drive, any blood assurance location, and register for that.
So $1,000 for your favorite charity, that's pretty nice.
We have a lot of very, good-hearted donors, and they want to get out and give back to their community, and they give back to us, and so we felt like this was our way of saying thank you, This time of year, the giving season, Thanksgiving coming up.
And in order to qualify for that $1,000 gift to the charity, all they have to do is come in and register and
all
donate?
they have to do is come in and register.
Yeah, wow, that's pretty good. Talk about your service area.
We serve about 34 counties and a little over 50 hospitals and healthcare facilities within about a 2-hour radius of here.
Oh my. And the history of Blood Assurance, been around a long time.
1972, we'll be celebrating our 40th anniversary next year.
Proven track record. You guys just do a great job.
Well, thank
And
you.
I remember some of the tragedies and problems through the years. I remember the big traffic accident on I-75 several years ago, and things like that. And I'm sure probably during the tornadoes recently when there were several people in the hospital. Blood Assurance was called on during those times, weren't you?
We did, and we had a lot of people who came out to give during that time, but we want them to realize that the blood needs to be on the shelf when the accident happens in order for us to get it to the hospitals and to the patients in time.
So the idea is to be prepared, not wait till the tragedy
Absolutely.
strikes and go ahead and have it on the shelf now. How big is Blood Assurance as far as the number of employees and your operations?
We have about 200 employees.
So it's a big operation.
And of course that spreads out though through 12 locations and 10 10 blood mobiles. And we need about 400 units every single day, a minimum of 400 units.
Now, how
to
big is a
supply all of
unit?
our
Is that like a
hospitals.
pint or a half a pint? Or?
It's a half of a liter. So
Half
you,
of a
you
liter,
get a
okay.
2-liter Coke at the grocery store, so
Right.
a fourth of that.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And how often can someone donate?
Every 56 days if you're donating whole blood.
Okay.
Yes.
56 days. That
Yes.
seems like an odd
It's
number.
8 weeks.
8 weeks. Okay. Every 8
But
weeks.
now keep in mind the red blood cells only last 42 days. But they can only donate every 56 days. So there's automatically going to be a gap there. And that's why we try to just get out and get the word out about other people coming in to donate.
Yeah. Talk about your procedure for assuring that your blood supply is extremely good and clean and not infected.
Oh yes, we perform 14 tests on
Really?
every unit of blood. We have multiple tests for HIV. We test for hepatitis B, hepatitis C, West Nile virus.
Oh, really?
There's a little known parasite that's usually found in South America or Central America called Chagas, and we test for that.
Oh, my.
Let's see, there's a strange virus called HTLV, which we rarely see in our area. So yes, we do the 14 tests.
14.
Oh, syphilis as well.
14 tests to ensure that the blood supply is I don't know what you call it, but make sure it's pure, I guess.
Exactly right.
And that when you need the service from Blood Assurance, that you're getting a good product. Now, I understand that there is my wife, when she was alive, she was a donor. And I don't know how many gallons she gave. But
thank you.
There was, is there a procedure where after you donate so many gallons, that if you're in an accident yourself, that you get the blood free? I don't know how to describe that. What's the process there?
We actually, we encourage everybody to come out and donate, and the hospitals reimburse us for the testing and the processing that goes into it. And there used to be a program years and years ago, and there's not anymore. It's available whenever you need it, and it's our job as the regional blood provider to make sure that it's there for everybody,
So
regardless
it's just there.
of their donation
Just
history.
there
Yes.
when you need it.
Absolutely.
And, wow. And it's a great thing to do, and you help so many people, and you never know when you're going to need it, and you never know when there's going to be a tornado strike and people are in the hospital. We had dozens and dozens of people transported, as you know, during the April tornadoes, and it's just a great thing that you guys do. Any other special word you need to give to the viewers before we take a break?
I think just encourage O-negative donors to come out. Like we said, only 6% of donors are O-negative, but the need, 10% of those units of all the blood transfused is O-negative. And so we really need just a constant replenishment of that type.
Well, that's a wonderful thing you guys do. And again, the office here locally is right there on Keith Street. Can you just walk in? Do you have to make an appointment?
Just walk in Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m.
And you may see the Bloodmobile in your vicinity and neighborhood. And just walk in and say, "I'm here."
It's
wanna
10
donate.
minutes.
Yeah.
10 minutes, and you can save up to 3 lives with one donation.
And I understand you may even give them a T-shirt and some.
We do, and a cookie.
And a
yeah.
cookie and some orange juice and whatever. So hey, that's a great deal. Plus, you're helping your community. Appreciate you guys coming by. Lacey Wilson,
Thank you.
to my far left, and Dr. Liz Culler, Medical Director for Blood Assurance in this area. Appreciate you coming by
Thank
today.
you.
Thank
Come
you
back
very
again.
much. We appreciate
If we
it.
can help, let us know. It is 8 o'clock. Well, actually, it's not 8 o'clock. It's 7 o'clock. We forgot to set this clock back, and I don't know why I keep telling you it's the wrong time, but everybody turned their clock back except this one. It is 7 o'clock. We'll be back in just a moment.
I'm Dr. James Markham, host of the television program Heart of Health, seen right here on WTNB television, Thursday at 7 o'clock, Friday at 8 a.m., or Sunday at 3:30 p.m.
I'm Wes Robbins with Landmark Insurance Brokerage. When it comes to employee benefits, we've got you covered. Call me today for the best service and best solutions to your group health and employee benefits needs. At Landmark Insurance Brokerage, we've got you covered.
How would you like to look and feel better? If so, then visit the Ford Center for Anti-Aging, located at 2020 Key Street Northwest. Dr. Ford has been serving Cleveland and the surrounding area since 1984. He is a licensed physician with the Board of Anti-Aging Medicine, offering affordable Botox injections. Botox is a medication that is used to treat dynamic wrinkles such as crow's feet, forehead lines, and frown lines. In addition to Botox therapy, rejuvenate and smooth wrinkled skin. The micro-laser peel treats skin conditions associated with aging and active lifestyles. If you're looking for safe and affordable anti-aging treatment, call the Ford Center for Anti-Aging at 423-614-0535, located at 2020 Key Street Northwest.
Kyle Dodge Chrysler Jeep, located at 511 South Lee Highway in Cleveland, is your #1 Dodge, Chrysler, and Jeep dealer in this area. Stop by and see the brand new 2011 Chrysler 200. The 200 is essentially a new nameplate with a significant facelift to the outgoing 2010 Chrysler Sebring. A beautiful vehicle at an unbeatable price. And while you're there, check out the all-new Jeep Grand Cherokee and the newly designed Dodge Durango. Redesigned, revamped, and reinvigorated. Yes, the Dodge Durango is back, bigger and better than ever. Kyle Dodge Chrysler Jeep offers a complete parts and service department with qualified service technicians to fix and repair your vehicle. So for your next brand new or pre-owned vehicle, make it Kyle Dodge Chrysler Jeep, located at 511 South Lee Highway in Cleveland.
We're back, 7:03. I want to thank Lacey and Dr. Liz Culler for coming by from Blood Assurance and telling us what's going on there and what the needs are. And don't forget, they need O-negative donors. Only 6% of the population are O-negative, but it's the universal blood. So if you're an O-negative, please go visit Blood Assurance and help them out. It is the 39 degrees, 7:03, and we are back again. I'm Dan Howell with my co-host Cheryl Dunson. And look who's here. First time we got State Representative Eric Watson to get up early.
Yeah, early.
Eric represents District 22, which is Meigs, Polk, and parts of Bradley County in the outlying areas.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
And it's good to have you on the show this
Thank you,
morning.
Dan.
You
Thank you,
haven't been in, and we've talked about it. I know, but we haven't been able to get our schedules together.
This is exciting.
But I'm glad you're here today.
Yes.
We're going to talk about a lot of things.
Thank you.
Today.
But first of all, I want to say I've just found out that Eric just celebrated his 1-year anniversary.
Did you really?
Yes,
Congratulations.
it's awesome first year. Thank you,
Yeah,
Cheryl.
well, you have
Thank
a lovely wife.
Yes.
And congratulations to you.
She makes me look good.
Behind every good man is a good woman.
Well, congratulations. Didn't
Thank
know
you.
that. I hope you took her somewhere nice.
Yes, I did.
Good. Well, Eric is, of course, as I said, state representative, and he is also the chairman of the Judiciary Committee
I am.
in the House of Representatives in the
Yes.
state of Tennessee. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Did I get it right here?
Yes, sir.
And so there's a lot going on, even though it's a part-time legislature, it's like a full-time job. There's
It
a lot
is.
going on all the time. I know they're still having committee meetings now, even though the legislature's not in session. I read.
Yeah, we was over there 2 days last week and got to be back 2 days this week.
Do you?
Always finance review going on or court of judiciary issues,
Yeah.
always these special summer, fall studies
Yeah.
going on.
And I'm sure one of the big issues that the legislature and the governor is looking at is the budget.
Yes.
I know we cut, was it $1 billion that Governor Haslam had to cut from the budget
It
this
was.
last year? And they're saying that we may have to tighten our belts even more coming up in the future.
You're right. That's a good point, Dan. A lot of your county and city officials, they're trying to ask a lot of their divisions, department heads within the municipalities to keep everything simple. Don't be raising raises up, don't be adding employees right now because it's estimated that rougher times are ahead of us. We haven't seen it yet.
Yeah. We keep hoping it'll get better, but all the analysts say that we're not out of the woods.
That's right.
And of course, I also read, and I don't mean to cast aspersions, but when your predecessor adds 3,000 state employees,
Yes.
and that's how many was added under the previous administration, and then Governor Haslam inherited that, it makes it kind of look bad on Governor Haslam when he has to start laying people off.
It does, and that's all that pork money that we received back in 2008, 2009. The governor, Bredesen, hired all these people. Of course, a lot of us stood up, even myself, and said, we do not need to do this. And because of what's happened today, I mean, a lot of these state employees, they quit great jobs a couple years ago, went to work for the state of Tennessee, and look at them today, they're being laid off.
They're being laid off, they're out of work. And 3,000 employees, that's a lot of people to add in one administration.
Yes.
It's just incredible, and now it has to be fixed because we can't, as a taxpayer, we can't continue to support that.
No.
We just can't
And I
do it.
think to Haslam's credit, he's trying to run government like a business.
He is.
And that's where I think his strengths are. And instead of running government like government, which at times can be very inefficient, I know because I work for local governments,
That's right.
run it like a business.
Yeah. I was told recently, and I was impressed because Governor Haslam, I've met him a few times, and I'm impressed with his business outlook on things. I was told that he was the first governor, some department head said he was the first governor, and they'd been with the state for 20, 30 years, first governor to ever actually go to their office and visit with them and their employees and say, what is it that you do?
Oh, it's unbelievable. We've had 6 commissioners off Governor Haslam's cabinet that's visited Bradley County within the last 4 months.
I know.
And you've been there
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Amazing. We've never seen that in history of a governor in Tennessee.
Yeah, we're really getting some attention, and we appreciate that. And a lot of that is due to the good work that you do, and
Thank you.
Kevin Brooks and State Senator Mike Bell, and helping shine the spotlight on this area. But let's talk about some things that we're going to come back and talk about politics a little bit more. But there's something that's near and dear to your heart that you do every year, Eric, and that's Coach for Kids.
Yes.
You've been doing this for how long?
Since 2000.
Wow.
Coach for Kids. Dan, it started, matter of fact, in Ocoee Village Apartments. I was patrolling back in 2000, 40, 35 degree weather one Saturday morning, and kids was playing outside, and I went to their parents and, don't your kids have jackets? They said, no, we can't afford jackets, which I verified that with the management because they was on WIC and food stamps and welfare, and I had a hard time paying the rent. So we went and my family bought them jackets, and we started that program. Since 2000, we've given out over 9,800 jackets.
Wow.
It's unbelievable. And that's through churches, civic organizations, schools. Matter of fact, Teddy Bryson, Oak Grove School, we spoke to him the other day about kids needing jackets. And we try to be real confidential and private about giving certain kids because some kids are funny. They don't want to be embarrassed when they're given a jacket, and we try to be discreet about it.
Sure.
But if it wasn't for the good people of Bradley County dropping off jackets to places, we couldn't do this program.
Yeah. Well, how can someone donate a jacket?
Well, they can donate it, drop it off at Village Tire or with Dave Gunner at Family Tire, Mike Smith, County Trustee's office, or Jimmy Logan's office. And also, it's going to be BB&T Bank is going to be a drop-off point through Bradley
good.
County. That will not start until next Monday, the 14th,
Okay.
though.
Okay.
But you're more than welcome to drop off at any of them other locations.
Yeah.
And they don't have to be new.
No, they can be new or they can be just good jackets. The problem we have, Cheryl, a lot of these jackets, people bring the zippers are messed up. We just have to usually just throw them away.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not going to give a kid a jacket that has holes in it or
Yeah.
zippers messed up or buttons are torn off. Only thing we ask that they're good jackets, something that you'd wear yourself.
Right. Don't give away something to these kids that that you'd be embarrassed to be seen in yourself.
That's right. I mean, it's amazing. These kids just they'll cry a lot of times. These young girls to get a nice Miley Cyrus jacket or
Yeah.
something like a Star Wars jacket for a young boy. You know, they
Yeah.
just eat it up. They love it.
Yeah.
And it's a blessing.
Well, I was, I usually, like a lot of folks, take my winter stuff and I store it in a closet upstairs until winter comes around again. And so the cool weather hit and I thought, well, I need to get a jacket out. And I went up, and probably some of you the same way. I went up and got a jacket, and then I got to looking. Oh, I forgot I had that. Oh,
Yeah.
I got, oh.
Yeah.
I had several jackets, you know, as you're shopping, I like that jacket, so you buy it.
Yep.
And you forget that you've already got one. I'm sure some of you are the same way. So I'm going to collect some of my jackets and
Yep,
coats,
me
and
too.
I'm going to drop them off. And you tell us those locations again,
It's
Eric.
Village Tire,
Village Tire.
Family Tire on Emmons Street.
Yeah.
County Trustee Mike Smith's office, Jimmy Logan's office, and any BB&T Bank starting next
Starting
Monday.
on Monday, a week from today.
Yes.
That's a great thing to do. And there are people in this community who really do need them.
Especially now after the April storms.
Yeah.
I mean, people still hurting out there.
They lost everything.
Yes.
Many of them lost everything. Well, that's exciting. So keep that in mind. Coats for Kids, and that's something that Eric has been doing now for about 11 years.
Yes, sir.
About 11 years. It's amazing. A lot of stuff coming up. We want to talk about that and what's coming up in the legislature. But let's take a real quick break, and we'll come back and talk some more with Eric about what's going on in Nashville, which might impact what's going on in Bradley County. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
I'm Kathy Guy with Landmark Insurance Brokerage. Call us today for all your personal insurance needs. With 28 years in the insurance business, I have the solutions and pricing you are looking for. At Landmark Insurance Brokerage, we've got you covered.
Kyle Dodge Chrysler Jeep, located at 511 South Lee Highway in Cleveland, is your #1 Dodge Chrysler and Jeep dealer in this area. Stop by and see the brand new 2011 Chrysler 200. The 200 is essentially a new nameplate with a significant facelift to the outgoing 2010 Chrysler Sebring. A beautiful vehicle at an unbeatable price. And while you're there, check out the all-new Jeep Grand Cherokee and the newly designed Dodge Durango. Redesigned, revamped, and reinvigorated. Yes, the Dodge Durango is back, bigger and better than ever. Kyle Dodge Chrysler Jeep offers a complete parts and service department with qualified service technicians to fix and repair your vehicle. So for your next brand new or pre-owned vehicle, make it Kyle Dodge Chrysler Jeep, located at 511 South Lee Highway in Cleveland.
I'm Dr. James Markham, host of the television program Heart of Health, seen right here on WTNB television. Thursday at 7 o'clock, Friday at 8 a.m., or Sunday at 3:30 p.m.
How would you like to look and feel better? If so, then visit the Ford Center for Anti-Aging, located at 2020 Key Street Northwest. Dr. Ford has been serving Cleveland and the surrounding area since 1984. He is a licensed physician with the Board of Anti-Aging Medicine, offering affordable Botox injections. Botox is a medication that is used to treat dynamic wrinkles such as crow's feet, forehead lines, and frown lines. In addition to Botox therapy, rejuvenate and smooth wrinkled skin. The micro laser peel treats skin conditions associated with aging and active lifestyles. If you're looking for safe and affordable anti-aging treatment, call the Ford Center for Anti-Aging at 423-614-0535, located at 2020 Key Street Northwest.
7:14 your time. Yes, we reset the clock.
For those of you that have heard 7:40 at 6:40, you didn't oversleep.
No, you didn't. They forgot to set this clock back, fall back. They didn't do it. And so I did it for them this morning. But earlier, before the top of the hour, I was giving all kinds of crazy times. But it is now 7:15. That's the correct time. And you're watching Tennessee Valley this morning. Dan Howell with Cheryl Dunson, my co-host. And we're chatting with State Representative Eric Watson, 22nd District, which includes Polk, Meigs, and the outlying areas of Bradley County. We're glad to have Eric with us today.
Thank you.
We've been talking about Coats for Kids, and that's something that's important. And if you've just tuned in, remind you, you can donate Coats for Kids. I think you said you've given out 9,000 since 2000.
Yes, since 2000.
Wow, that's amazing. And you can donate those at Family Tire on Inman.
Village Tire.
Village Tire.
Mike Smith's County Trustee's office.
Trustee's office.
And Logan Thompson, Attorney at Law's office.
I was going to mention something a while ago before we move on to something else, but we live in Bradley County, a very blessed area. Our unemployment is lower than most areas, and we kind of lead the state in economic development. And so we kind of don't think of our area as an area where people are in need of something as basic as a coat to keep them warm in the cold weather. But there really are needs here in this area, aren't there?
Yes, there is a lot of needs. And one thing about Bradley County people, a lot of times we're too proud to ask for it.
Yeah.
When we need help, we don't want to ask for it. And that's the problem we ran into the tornado victims. The one that we was just at a few days ago, Dan, off of Dalton Pike with the governor.
Out on Eggleston Drive.
That family wouldn't ask for nothing until the church really just pushed it. And they lost everything. A lot of people couldn't afford insurance and still having a hard time today. But like you said, we're blessed with economic development. And these new companies coming into Bradley County hopefully will help a lot of these families.
Some people going back to work. Let's talk about what's going on in Nashville. Of course, as chairman of the Judiciary Committee, let's talk about that position. What does that involve? You're the chairman of the Judiciary Committee for the state of Tennessee.
I am chairman of 14 people. I oversee all the bills, the legislation, anything from the court proceedings, from judges to law enforcement to the prison system. Many major bills passed this year. For instance, you might have remember the zookeeper, the zoo man story from 1996 in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Yeah.
He raped and killed 4 ladies.
Right.
Long story short, law enforcement got a search warrant, went to a judge's house one night, and he signed the search warrant. 10:19, when it came to AM, PM, the circle, he circled to block AM. Well, the good defense attorney, they went to the house on that search warrant, collected the DNA evidence, guns, the stuff that was used in that the murder of those 4 ladies. Good defense attorney went to court, got that search warrant, said, Your Honor, they made a mistake on the search warrant. Just because that 10:19 AM, PM mistake, every bit of that evidence was thrown out of court, that guy walked free.
Oh my goodness.
That's happened here in Bradley County, more simple issues. But that's happened for 22 years and they've tried to change that. That's called the exclusionary rule bill. All it says is a good faith exception that allows that law enforcement officer to say, Judge, we just made a simple mistake, or the judge made a simple mistake, or the court clerk made a simple mistake. And it allows that search warrant to go back before the judge and say, hey, this was a simple clerical error. And it's going to be overruled and the evidence will be kept in court. A major piece of legislation.
So that's something that came through the Judiciary Committee and it has been corrected now, I assume.
Another bill, pretrial diversion.
Yeah.
For years, Dan, for example, a school teacher could have an encounter, sexual relationship encounter with a 13-year-old boy or girl. That school teacher, if she or he had never been in trouble before, could be eligible for pretrial diversion, get it, don't get in trouble for a year after that, start teaching school again.
The record would be expunged and like it never happened.
Like it never happened.
Oh my.
But now they're not eligible for pretrial diversion. There's no such thing as pretrial diversion unless for your minor crimes, such as like worthless check or something like that.
Oh, I see.
But for years, crimes like arson, rape of a child, authority figure over a child, your serious crimes, you was eligible to have a clean record after a year. And people could not believe that. I couldn't believe that.
Yeah.
And we have a lady right now that's teaching in school there in Whitfield County of an incident years ago here in this district. And I get letters wrote to me about that all the time, how that family of that child is so upset at the justice system for that teacher to be teaching.
Oh, yeah. Well, it was something that needed to be fixed because it was broke.
It does, it does. But we deal, the speed limits from DUI offenses, from arson, I mean, anything that's court-related, judicial-related, that's in our committee. So
We had a lady come to our Rotary Club just this past Thursday, Kim Ledford, who lost her son Dustin a year or so ago on Highway APD 40, and she's trying to pass Dustin's law.
Yeah.
And she said she's working with you on that.
She is, and that's a very important bill. Dustin's law, it's going to be passed one day. What happens is anything that we increase in penalty has a cost to it. That's a physical note.
Right.
And you got to find the money. And that's the problem. There's a lot of bills that's out there. It's great bills, has good ideals that needs to be fixed. It's just getting the money. And the key to passing bills like Dustin's law is getting the governor or somebody like that behind it, and the Senate. It has to be all three. It has to be the House, the Senate, and the governor's office to put it in his crime package. The House is behind it. We passed it all the way up to finance. The Senate, it's still kind of dragging in the Senate a little bit.
Is it?
And we got to push it up through the Senate just a little bit more, and of course be a part of the governor's package.
Yeah.
So
Talk about how you and your counterpart, Representative Brooks, and State Senator Mike Bell, talk about how you folks work together on issues like that.
It's awesome because Kevin, anything that's educated related, we'll talk to Kevin about it, or we'll ask Kevin because he sits on the education committee.
Oh, I see.
And of course, I sit on the law enforcement committee. Usually, we interact on stuff. What's so blessed? We're blessed in this area because Kevin's part of leadership, and of course, I chair a committee, and that's. I hate using this word, but it's two good positions, influential positions.
Sure they are.
That a lot of times you get stuff done for your district. For example, the Highway 411 project or the Highway 64 project, 2.7 miles that's been built, stuff like that would not have been done if it wasn't for just kind of power people pushing those projects. The Dalton Pike project's now got movement. Georgetown Road's still under a study. That's coming one day. And Quarter K is as close as ever been. And can you imagine when Quarter K it's going to be built, what's going to do to Bradley County, to the whole region. It's going to be unbelievable. And the Quarter K, we're so close to building that we've asked Congressman Flashman to let the federal government pay for 90% of that project. Right now they're paying for 80% of that project through the Appalachian funds. We're almost there.
Oh, really?
And it's just everybody working together. It just makes it so smooth transaction, just like Mayor Davis, the Vocker plants, the Whirlpool plants, the Amazon plants, Santec,
It's all coming together. It's all part of the
It
pie.
is. And if we did not work together, we wouldn't accomplish so much.
Right.
It ain't just about me, or it ain't just about so-and-so. It's all of us together working as a team for the better of the community.
Yeah. I enjoyed that road up 64 yesterday into Polk County, the new 4-lane.
Oh, it's
I
nice.
drove on that
It
and on
is.
up into Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina. That's a nice road.
And see, that's the first phase of Quarter K. That 2.7 miles is the first phase of Quarter K.
So Quarter K would interface right there, connect there,
Yes.
and then a new route.
Where you
somewhere.
drive down to the bridge, that's where Quarter K will pick up.
I see.
Yes.
So the TDOT has already gotten various sketches or drawings
Yes, sir.
for where the route might go, and there's 2 or 3 that they have to make a decision on.
I think there's 3 left plans that sets out there, but right there where the 5-lane ends up at the 2-lane where the bridge, that's where the Quarter K is going to pick up at and go all the way up to Ducktown. It's going to be great.
Yeah. And all the leaves this weekend up in there was just beautiful. It was at the peak.
Yeah.
And I got some great photos, by the way. It was fantastic. There was nobody kayaking on the river, though. I can't figure that out. I don't know why they weren't on the river. It's 7:24, and you're watching Tennessee Valley This Morning. We're visiting with State Representative Eric Watson and talking about several things. One of the things that's getting a lot of attention, Eric, is the voter ID law. You just, the legislature just passed this. I think the governor signed it, the voter ID law in the past session. And but even though it passed, not everybody's happy about it. So they're trying to get it overturned, I understand.
A lot of false information has been told about that bill, too. Voter ID bill came from several reasons. First of all, you had 30-something people voting in the 2010 election that was dead in Shelby County.
Yeah.
Even over in my district, you've had dead people voting in Polk County's election before. It's amazing how dead people can rise up and vote.
They're resurrected, yeah.
But, you know, that's because for years these counties have not asked for identification. And now they got to ask for photo ID. You have to, if you buy beer, if you buy cigarettes, get a hunting license, cash a check, use a debit card, more likely you want to show a photo
Or
ID.
get a permit to carry.
Yes.
You got to show ID.
You got to. And, you know, the people that's complaining about this bill are the very ones that supported and voted for this bill in Nashville. That's what's so amazing. Oh. The caucus leader for the Democratic Party, Mike Turner, great friend of mine, great guy, and he's wrote negative articles about this bill. However, he voted for the bill.
Why are they against it, Eric?
It's just a political move trying to say that we're making it harder on senior citizens. Well, we're not, because the driver's license centers are open now on Saturdays, giving a photo ID to a senior citizen if they don't have one.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, if somebody needs a ride out there, I'll come pick you up myself and take you down there. Yeah. But no one's called.
And it's at no cost, right?
At no cost.
Yeah.
And that's all the driver's license centers are doing on Saturdays, is nothing but taking a picture for senior citizens. And I spoke to them this past Saturday, and not a lot of people's taking advantage of it. The problem's not as big as the liberal media is trying to portray it to be.
Yeah.
And because people supports photo ID, especially when it comes to immigration issues, public safety, homeland security, and two, it's going to keep down fraud.
You got to show a photo ID to get on an airplane.
You do.
Yes.
Why wouldn't you have to show a photo ID to vote? One of the most sacred responsibilities as a citizen that we have.
That's right.
Make sure that you are who you say you are, and not allow somebody to vote 5 and 6 times in 3 different precincts.
It's going to keep these dead people from coming out of the ground, from voting.
Something as simple as a photo ID will keep them in the ground. That's great. Well, what do you think there's any chance that it would be overturned, or that it'll end up in court?
It may end up in court. Of course, anything can end up in court.
Yeah.
I mean, me being here today could end up in court.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the way the justice system is. However, it will not be overturned. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah. Well, that's. I think it's a great thing, and I've advocated for it for a long, long time, and I've always thought it was just incredible that you'd have to have photo ID to buy a bottle of beer, but you don't have to have a photo ID to vote for the leadership in our community and in our country.
That's right.
Well, I'm glad to know that. What else is going on? What do you see on the agenda for the next session, which starts when in
January 15th.
January?
It does. I see, for one, the budget's going to be another issue.
Yeah.
We as legislators are encouraging our local officials, as well as state leaders, to keep everything. Don't build bureaucracy. Don't build divisions and departments. Don't increase funds. Don't increase salaries. People's lucky to have a job right now, especially in government. Keep it just like it is. For 2 education bills, our teachers are going to get hopefully some relief over the interviews and interrogations that they're going through right now. The 4 where the principal goes into their classroom. That was part of the Race at the Top fund. It's a whole different story, but that was something that Governor Bredesen had agreed to when we accepted those millions of dollars from the federal government. I don't think he did that intentionally. It's just our principals are really been stressed out right now. Our teachers on evaluations.
Evaluations.
We need to work
So
on
that'll
that.
be revisited.
Very
Yeah, I have some teacher friends. I'm sure you do too. That are not real happy with that aspect. And doing it twice a year seems like a little bit of an overreach.
And that's something Governor Bredesen's getting blamed for also. Of course, he had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
But we're kind of having to pick up the tab on it now. And it's going to be fixed. We're going to fix it. It just won't be fixed until January.
Yeah.
Workman's comp issue is going to be another issue, trying to get some relief for small businesses as well as your middle-sized businesses.
Yeah.
It's going to get better. That and no gun bills. I don't think we're really going to push any gun bills this year because we need to focus. There's a lot more other things we need to focus on this year.
Yeah.
Helping people. A lot of people's having hard times.
A lot of people hurting. We are unfortunately out of time, Eric, but we have to make room, take a break and make room for something else. But sure glad you joined us
Thank you,
today.
Dan.
I appreciate
Thank
you
you.
coming.
Thank
We'll
you,
have you
sir.
back,
Thank you.
especially when we get closer to the session and find out what's going on in
I have some
Nashville.
big announcements pretty soon. So
Okay, good.
We'll be
I'd
here.
love to know
Thank
about
you.
that. Sure would. 7:30, Dan Howell for Cheryl Dunson. Appreciate you joining us today. Have a great Monday. We'll see you.
Thank you.